Listen, ladies, let me tell you something right now. Man don't just fall for looks. He falls for how you make him feel. That's the secret to emotional attraction. You want a man to see you as the one, you got to understand the way he connects emotionally. And I'm going to give you 3 things that make you irresistible to a man on an emotional level. A man already got enough battles out in the world. He's fighting for his dreams, handling responsibilities, and dealing with stress. The world is tough, and every day he's out there proving himself, making things happen, trying to survive and thrive. He's dealing with pressure from his boss, pressure from his family, pressure from society. So when he comes home to you, when he picks up the phone to call you, when he takes time out of his busy day to be with you, he don't need another battlefield. He needs peace. That's what a lot of people don't understand. See, being attractive to a man ain't just about how you look, how you dress, or how good you are playing hard to get. A real man, one who's building something, one who's worth keeping, isn't just looking for a pretty face. He's looking for a woman who brings peace into his life. Now, let me be clear. Peace don't mean being a doormat. It don't mean let him do whatever he wants with no accountability. What it means is that you know how to create a space where he feels safe, where he feels valued, where he can be himself without feeling judged or attacked all the time. You ever seen a man who's been with a woman that constantly nags him, criticizes everything he does, picks fights over every little thing? That man starts pulling away. He starts spending more time with his boys. He starts staying late at work. He starts avoiding home because home don't feel like a place of rest. It feels like another battle he got to fight. But you ever seen a man with a woman who knows how to support him, who knows how to listen, who knows how to let him breathe? That man will go to war for her. That man would do anything to protect that peace because he knows how rare it is. See, a lot of women think keeping a man is about controlling him. They think it's about checking his phone, making rules, keeping tabs on everything he does. Oh, that's not how you keep a man. You keep a man by making sure that when he's with you, he feels good, he feels appreciated. He feels like he can take off the armor he wears all day and just be himself. Now let me tell you what peace looks like. Peace looks like knowing when to pick your battles. Every little thing don't need to be an argument. Every little disagreement don't need to turn into a fight. Sometimes you got to ask yourself, is this really worth ruining the energy in my relationship over? If it's something big, if it's something that truly affects your happiness and well-being, then yes, have that conversation. But if it's just about being right, just about proving a point, just about controlling things, let it go. A man will always be drawn to a woman who knows how to bring calm instead of chaos. Peace looks like understanding how to communicate. A man can't read your mind. A lot of women expect a man to just know what they want, to just automatically understand what's bothering them. But men don't work like that. They need clarity. They need you to tell them what's wrong in a way that's calm and direct, not through hints, not through silent treatments, not through... When you know how to express yourself without turning it into an argument, that makes you incredibly attractive to a man. Peace looks like giving him room to breathe. A man needs time to himself. He needs time to work on his goals, to be with his friends, to just sit in silence sometimes. That don't mean he don't love you. That don't mean he don't care. It just means he's human. And when a woman understands that when she doesn't make him feel guilty for needing space, when she trusts him enough to let him be his own person, he will always come back to her. Men are simple when it comes to emotions. They don't need a woman who's perfect. They don't need a woman who's always done up, always saying the right things, always agreeing with them. They just need a woman who knows how to make life feel lighter instead of heavier. If you can be that woman, if you can create that kind of space, you won't ever have to chase a man. He will hold on to you like you're the most valuable thing in his life. And here's another thing. A man wants to feel respected. A lot of women think love is enough to keep a relationship strong, but men don't operate like that. A man can love you with his whole heart, But if he doesn't feel respected, he's going to pull away. Respect ain't just about the big things like being loyal and supportive. It's about the small things too. It's about how you talk to him, how you treat him in front of other people, how you react when he opens up to you. Men don't open up easily. Society teaches them to be strong, to be tough, to never show weakness. So when a man lets his guard down around you, when he tells you his fears, his insecurities, his dreams, that's a big deal. And if you laugh at him, if you dismiss what he's saying, if you make him feel small, he's going to shut down. He's going to stop sharing things with you. He's going to start building walls between you. But when you respect him, when you listen to him, when you make him feel like what he says matters, that creates a bond that's unbreakable. And let's talk about confidence. There's nothing more attractive to a man than a woman who knows her worth. A lot of women think that catering to a man's every need, always being available, always putting him first is what's going to make him stay. But the truth is, a man values what he has to work for. If you have your own life, your own goals, your own happiness outside of him, that makes you 10 times more attractive. Because a high-value man don't want a woman who's just sitting around waiting on him. He wants a woman who's living her best life with or without him. That's the kind of woman who keeps a man coming back. When you're confident, when you know your worth, when you don't settle for less than what you deserve, a man respects that. He admires that. He sees you as a prize, and that's exactly what you are. But you got to believe it first. You got to carry yourself like a woman who deserves the best. And when you do, the right man will step up to meet you at that level. A lot of women ask me, Steve, how do I make a man commit? How do I make him stay? And I tell them the same thing every time. You don't make a man do anything. What you do is become the kind of woman that a man never wants to lose. And that starts with how you make him feel. Give him peace, make him feel respected, and carry yourself with confidence. When you do that, you ain't just going to be another woman in his life. You're going to be the one he can't live without. Now, I ain't saying bow down to a man, but listen, men are wired for respect the same way women are wired for love. You show a man respect and he will move mountains for you. You make a man feel like he matters, like his opinions count, like you believe in him, and that man will go all in for you. This ain't about ego, it's about how men are built. It's about understanding what makes a man feel connected, feel valued, feel like you're his person. A woman who truly knows how to show a man respect is a man will never want to let go of. See, when a man doesn't feel respected, he starts to check out emotionally. You might think everything is fine, but if he feels like his voice don't matter, like his effort ain't appreciated, like he's being talked down to or belittled, that man will start pulling away. He might not say it outright, because men don't always express emotions the way women do. Instead of telling you how he feels, he just starts working later, spending more time with his friends, being quieter around you. And before you know it, the emotional connection you have with him is fading. Say a man comes home and tells you about a new idea he has, something he's excited about. Maybe he wants to start a business, change careers, or try something new. If your first reaction is to laugh at him, tell him it won't work, or question if he's even capable of doing it, you just crushed his spirit. He might not show it in the moment, he might just brush it off, but inside, you just made him feel small. And a man will never stay in a place where he feels small. He might physically be there, but emotionally, he's already checking out. Now, imagine the opposite. He comes home with this idea, and instead of shutting him down, you say, that sounds interesting, tell me more about it. You listen, you ask him questions, you show interest. Even if you don't fully believe in the idea, you believe in him, and that's what matters. A man doesn't need you to agree with everything he says, but he needs to feel like you respect the fact that he's thinking big, that he's trying to do something. That alone gives him energy, gives him confidence, makes him feel like he can conquer the world. And when a man feels like that with you, oh, he ain't going nowhere. Another big part of respect is how you handle disagreements. Look, every couple argues.
Says normal.
But it's how you argue that makes the difference. If every time there's a disagreement, you're yelling, belittling, rolling your eyes, or saying things that cut deep, that's going to build resentment. A man, don't forget words that made him feel less than. He might not say nothing about it in the moment, but over time, that disrespect starts stacking up. And one day you'll wonder why he ain't the same, why he's distant, why he don't open up to you anymore. It's because every time he tried, he felt attacked instead of heard. You ever see a man who lights up around a certain woman? You ever notice how he listens to her, how he leans in when she speaks, how he's always doing things for her? That ain't just love. That's respect. That woman knows how to talk to him in a way that makes him feel like a man, in a way that makes him feel valued. She could tell him he's wrong, she could challenge him, but she does it in a way that still makes him feel like a king. Let me tell you something about a man who feels respected. He's a different kind of man. He walks taller, he works harder, he loves stronger, because respect fuels a man. You ever see a man lose motivation? You ever see a man who used to be ambitious just stop trying? 9 times out of 10, it's because he don't feel respected by the people closest to him. A man who feels respected will move mountains. A man who don't, he'll stop trying, not just in the relationship, but in life. And let's talk about how you treat a man in public. This is a big one. You ever see a woman embarrass her man in front of people, talking down to him, correcting him like he's a child, making fun of him when he makes a mistake? Let me tell you right now, that right there is one of the fastest ways to make a man shut down. Because a man's pride is different. He can handle criticism in private, but in public, if you make him feel like less of a man in front of others, that's a wound that don't heal easy. Now, a woman who respects her man in public, that's a woman who holds power. She backs him up, she makes him look good, she shows that she believes in him, and in return, that man will do everything in his power to make sure she's taken care of. Because men want to be heroes for their woman. They want to feel like they're needed, valued, important. And the way you show a man he's important is through respect. Respect also means trusting his decisions. Now, I ain't saying you got to agree with everything he does, but a man needs to feel like you trust him to lead sometimes. If every time he makes a decision, you second guess him, override him, or act like he don't know what he's doing, he's going to stop trying. But if you show him that you trust his judgment, even if things don't always go perfectly, that makes him feel like a man. That don't mean you don't have a say. A good man wants a woman who speaks up, who has her own mind, who challenges him in a healthy way. But there's a difference between offering your perspective and making him feel like he's always wrong. It's about balance. When a man feels like his woman believes in him, trusts him, sees him as capable, he becomes a better version of himself. A man's biggest fear in a relationship ain't losing love, it's losing respect. A man can love you deeply, but if he feels disrespected over and over again, that love will fade. But when a man feels respected, that love grows stronger. He looks at you differently. He cherishes you. He protects you. He values you in a way that's deep because you give him something rare. A lot of women ask me, Steve, how do I get my man to do more? How do I get him to step up? And my answer is simple. Respect brings out the best in a man. You show him respect, you let him know he matters, you lift him up instead of tearing him down, and you will see a different man. You will see a man who goes above and beyond for you, who listens to you, who prioritizes you, because respect is the foundation of emotional attraction for a man. It's what makes him stay, what makes him commit, what makes him see you as irreplaceable. When a woman understands this, she holds the key to a man's heart in a way that nothing else can replace. A lot of women think that keeping a man is about catering to his every need, making him the center of their world, always being available. But let me tell you something. What really makes a man stay, what really keeps him attracted on a deep level is when a woman knows her own worth and carries herself with confidence. A man don't want a woman who's just sitting around waiting on him. He don't want a woman who don't have her own dreams, her own purpose, her own life outside of him. A high-value man wants a woman who's got something going on, a woman who knows she's a prize. That's the kind of woman who keeps a man's attention, because she don't need him, she chooses him. And that makes all the difference. See, when you're confident, when you walk like you know you're valuable, a man can feel that energy. Confidence is attractive. Confidence is sexy. A woman who knows who she is don't have to beg for love, don't have to chase nobody, don't have to prove herself. She just is, and that makes a man step up to meet her level. A lot of women get into relationships and forget who they were before. They stop doing the things they love. They stop focusing on their goals. They make their whole world about the man. And at first, a man might like all that attention, but over time, he starts to lose respect. Because deep down, a man wants to be with a woman who has her own life, her own passion, her own sense of purpose. A man don't want to be your everything. He wants to add to your life, not become your life. When you keep your own interests, your own friendships, your own self-care, you become more attractive because you show that you are whole on your own. A man don't complete you, he complements you. And when you understand that, you stop tolerating nonsense, you stop settling for half love, you stop accepting less than what you deserve, because a confident woman don't beg. A confident woman don't wait around for a man to realize her worth. She knows her worth. And if he don't recognize it, she's willing to walk away. And that right there, that's what makes a man respect you. That's what makes a man value you. Men are wired to pursue, to chase, to work for what they want. When something comes too easy, they don't value it the same. If you're always available, always saying yes, always waiting on him to make a move, he don't feel the need to put in effort. But when you got your own thing going on, when you're busy working on your goals, when you don't drop everything just because he calls, he starts to see you differently. He sees you as a woman who is worth putting in effort for. A man wants a challenge, not games, not manipulation, but a woman who keeps him on his toes, because she is constantly growing, constantly evolving, constantly becoming a better version of herself. And let's talk about how confidence shows up in the way you carry yourself. It's in how you walk into a room, in how you speak, in how you handle yourself when things don't go your way. A woman who's confident don't fall apart just because a man takes too long to text back. She don't lose herself just because a relationship ends. She don't shrink herself to make a man comfortable. She stands tall. She speaks with assurance. She knows that rejection ain't a reflection of her worth. It's just redirection to something better. And that kind of energy, that's rare. That's magnetic. A man knows when he's dealing with a woman who ain't easily impressed, who ain't desperate for attention, who ain't out here accepting just anything. And that makes him step correct. A lot of women complain that men don't take them seriously, but the real question is, are you taking yourself seriously? Are you setting boundaries? Are you holding yourself to a standard? Because the way you treat yourself teaches a man how to treat you. If you tolerate disrespect, if you make excuses for bad behavior, if you keep giving chances to a man who ain't showing up for you, that's telling him that he can do the bare minimum and still have access to you. But when you respect yourself, when you don't entertain foolishness, when you have the courage to walk away from what ain't serving you, you force a man to step up. He either levels up or he loses you. And that's how you separate the real from the fake. A confident woman don't fear being alone because she knows she is complete all by herself. She don't settle for just any man because she'd rather wait for the right one than waste time on the wrong one. And that patience, that self-respect, that's what attracts the kind of man who is ready to love you the way you deserve. Men can sense when a woman is moving from a place of insecurity versus when she is moving from a place of self-worth. When a woman is insecure, she overcompensates. She tries too hard. She gives too much, too fast. But when a woman is secure, she lets a man show her who he is. She don't force nothing. She don't rush nothing. She observes. She allows things to unfold naturally because she knows that if he is the right man, he will rise to meet her standard. And let's be real, confidence ain't just about how you feel on the inside, it's also about how you take care of yourself. A woman who loves herself, who invests in herself, who takes care of her mind, her body, her spirit, that's a woman who shines from the inside out. That don't mean you got to look perfect all the time, but it does mean you carry yourself with pride. You treat yourself with love. You dress in a way that makes you feel good. You speak to yourself with kindness. Because the way you love yourself teaches a man how to love you. A woman who has her own life, her own confidence, her own glow is a woman who will always have options. She ain't worried about one man because she knows that if he don't step up, somebody else will. That energy makes a man want to lock you down because a man wants to feel like he wants something special, like he worked for something valuable. And a woman who knows her worth makes a man want to do better, be better, love better. A lot of women ask me, Steve, how do I make a man commit? How do I make him choose me? And the answer is you don't. You don't make a man do anything. What you do is become a woman he never wants to lose. You become a woman who is so full of life, so full of confidence, so full of purpose, that a man feels like his life is better with you in it. But here's the key. Your life has to be full, whether he's there or not. Because the truth is, the most attractive thing to a man is a woman who is happy with or without him. That kind of woman don't beg, don't chase, don't settle. And that's exactly the kind of woman a real man will do anything to keep.